Page 121, cracking the case. As Peter toured the empty rooms with Sister Marcella, he told her about the high number of deaths among young women. Had anything unusual happened at the mission's prenatal clinic, he asked, around the time that Mabola Lukiel fell ill. Sister Marcella smiled as she remembered those happy days when the mission's courtyard had been filled with the bustle of patients and families. She told Peter proudly that the excellent prenatal care that the young women received at the clinic, in particular, the popular weekly vitamin shots. All pregnant women visiting the mission clinic were given an injection of vitamin B12. With a growing sense of dread, Peter asked to see where the drugs and medical equipment were stored. In the clinic's small dispensary, he opened drawers and cupboards one after another. Finally, he turned to Sister Marcella. There are only 5 syringes here for the entire clinic. How did you manage to give so many injections with such a small stock? The sister replied matter-of-factly that each morning the syringes were sterilized. After that, they were used over and over again for all the patients treated that day, with a quick rinsing between usage. On their meager budget, she explained, the clinic couldn't afford to buy more syringes or needles. Peter realized with horror that the nuns who had given Malbro Lucia his shot of chloroquine had unwittingly spread the infection to every pregnant woman in the village through the unsterilized needle. Here was the link he was searching for. The epidemic had been spread by the very clinic to which people had turned for help. Peter carefully bagged 2 of the syringes to take back to Keisha for testing. I'd bet anything these are both infected, he thought to himself. The scouting team findings were correct. The epidemic had spread through unsterilized needles and through contact with infection patients in the mission clinic and at funerals. The last infected patient died on November 5th, and there was no further cases reported. The international scientific delegate continued to work in Zaire for several months, collecting more information about the mysterious disease they began to call Ebola, named after the river nearby. The road ahead. Researchers identified the Ebola virus as florovirus, one of only 2 ever discovered. The florovirus are small family of viruses causing extremely lethal diseases in humans and other primates. Both the floroviruses, Ebola and Marburg, cause several hemorrhagic fever, illness in which the victims bleed profusely. Ebola kills 88% of its victims, making it one of the most lethal diseases on the planet. In the Yucatan outbreak, 318 people were infected and 280 died. Between 1977 and 2020, there were 29 Ebola outbreaks in Africa and elsewhere, including 3 in the United States. 4 workers at U.S. research facilities in Virginia and Texas who were accidentally bitten by a monkey developed Ebola antibiotics in their blood protein produced by their immune system in response to the Ebola virus. But the workers never developed symptoms. Although the monkey became sick with Ebola and most died, this particular strand of Ebola, which is not dangerous to humans, was named Ebola Reston after the city in Virginia where it was first identified. At that time, Ebola emerged in 1976. Medical science seemed to be winning the war against diseases, the powerful weapon like vaccines and antibiotics in the medical arsenal. Ebola reminded everyone that the vast number of and diversity of disease-causing viruses and bacteria, and of how much scientists and doctors still had to learn about fighting diseases.